Hi everyone, my name is Nicole DiCaprio-Rink. I'm the University Disability Services Coordinator. I'm also the Dean of Academic Engagement and Student Success. Today I'm going to be giving you a brief overview of the policies and procedures surrounding disability services here at St. Peter's University. Disability Services is housed in the Center for Academic Success and Engagement, which is CASE. We are located in the lower level of McDermott Hall. Here is the accommodations email, accommodations@stpeters.edu, and here is our number, 201-761-6038. The mission statement, as you can see, is we're committed to providing reasonable accommodations to students with disabilities. As with any student, we would help them. We would make sure we were doing everything we could to ensure that they succeed. And this is the same with students that have disabilities. We want to make sure that we are following their accommodations and we are helping them be successful here at St. Peter's University. Accommodations may include students taking additional time to complete exams. They may be allowed to record lectures. They may need to sit somewhere different in the class, the front of the room, the middle of the room. We may have a student help a student with disabilities with note-taking and some other reasonable accommodations. This is just a brief overview of what you would see on the accommodation form if you had a student who required extra help. The accommodations and services provided are in accordance with each student's particular disability. So what happens is that I look at each student's paperwork and I determine what that particular student needs in order to be successful. It can be 504s, IEPs, something sent to us by a doctor. It's not a prescription pad, but a letter outlining the situation. So I review every student's paperwork and then I determine what they need based upon what has been given to me. Students' procedures and responsibilities. So for purpose of this policy, I work with all students here at the university. So if you're full or part-time, if you're evening, if you're day, if you're adults, if you're doctoral, if you have documentation that says that you need some sort of accommodations, I will work with all students. The students have to self-identify and let us know that they need accommodations. At any time, you cannot ask a student if they have accommodations or ever had them. You can never say to a student, you seem to be struggling. Do you have learning accommodations? The student has to self-identify. Now, if you know that a student is struggling and you may think that they may have accommodations and you know that you haven't received any paperwork from me, you can, have the student come and see me, but that would be based upon talking to me about maybe how they're struggling in class, not the fact that you think that something may be happening. We can never assume and we can never inquire to the student. The student always has to self-identify and seek accommodations through the appropriate procedures. So what would happen is the student would submit an academic request form with the appropriate paperwork. If they're also looking for some sort of housing accommodation, they would submit a housing accommodation request form as well. They would then meet with me to discuss the request, accommodations available, and then all the policies and procedures. If I approve the accommodations and I feel that the student needs them, the faculty member will get the letter of accommodation, but they would get it from the student. We will never bring the paperwork to you. Nobody from my office, myself, it's always the student who would give you the paperwork. And each term, the student is required to renew their accommodations and let me know if they want to continue with them. Students must provide their professors with information to obtain academic accommodations. Once again, we will never disclose anything to the professor. The student will have to disclose any paperwork or anything to the professors. And we strongly recommend that the student meet with the faculty members to discuss the letter of accommodations. I know that the beginning of the school year, the first week or so, and that is when the student would be giving you this paperwork, is a busy time. But if a student requests to meet with you, we strongly encourage you meeting with them and reviewing the accommodations that they would have. Students who are approved to take exams in an alternate location must submit a notice to us as soon as possible, but it has to be at least 10 business days in advance of the scheduled exam. All students who have extra time have received a link to a Google form where they could let us know about their exam and that they need to take it in an alternate location, and then we will find a proctor, make sure that we have somewhere in the center for them to take the exam, and we will proctor the exam. We will work with the faculty to ensure we get the exam and that the exam comes back to you. We do have the student contact the professor to make the arrangements for everything, but we need to know 10 days in advance. We cannot guarantee that if we don't know 10 days in advance that we can work with the student and schedule the exam here. So please make sure that the students know about tests as soon as possible, and if you have students who you know need the extra time, you're encouraging them to fill out the form. Once again, we will contact the faculty to confirm the date of the exam and to obtain the testing documents and the resources that are needed. Whenever possible, we will try to confirm with the student at least 48 hours in advance. Faculty procedures and responsibilities. So here is the statement for faculty that says that we are responsible for providing access to education which is free from discrimination, and that responsibility includes providing students with approved academic accommodations. We want to make sure that we are assisting the students who do need the extra help in order to be successful. We would never discriminate against any student, so we would not discriminate against students with accommodations. If you need more information about this, please see the St. Peter's anti-harassment, anti-discrimination, and anti-bullying policies for more information. It is our responsibility to provide an all-inclusive and safe environment for all students, and at all times, the faculty must comply with the university policies prohibiting discrimination, harassment, retaliation, and bullying. Confidentiality. Student accommodations must be kept confidential. Once you know of a student's accommodations, you cannot discuss it with your chair or other faculty or other students. You can only discuss it with me and the student. In some scenarios, if there's an issue and we have to involve other people, that would be something that I would handle, and I would bring the appropriate people in to the loop as needed. Please make sure that once you know about a student with accommodations, it is kept confidential. All faculty should include a brief statement in their syllabus that reinforces our commitment to providing accommodations. I'm going to tell you that you are allowed to plagiarize this statement right here. St. Peter's faculty is responsible for providing access to education, which is free from discrimination. You can take that one statement and put it right on your syllabus. All faculty, adjunct and full-time, should have something like this on their syllabus. Please always refer students to my office if they let you know that they have a disability. Once you receive the letter of accommodation, we need you to please review it. And once again, if a student requests a meeting to discuss their accommodations, please make it a priority to meet with that student. If you are able to stay after and help a student if they have exam accommodations, then we are happy to allow the student to take their exam in class. We do understand, once again, that faculty have other classes to go to. So if you cannot stay for a student who has extended time on an exam, the arrangements have to be made with our office, and it has to be made 10 days in advance. We really do need the student to let us know so we can find a proctor. And here's an example of the accommodations you would see on the forms, allowing the student to record lectures, class materials, or textbook in alternate format, accessible classroom and in-class furniture, extended time for testing, use of a calculator. If you have any questions about any of these services, please just feel free to contact me and we can discuss any concerns you may have. Faculty is expected to cooperate with any request for materials to facilitate testing in alternate locations. Once again, you can contact me if you have any questions. At any time, I am the person you should be reaching out to. We do have a grievance policy in place here. I won't go into too much information, but please be aware that if a student feels they've been denied a reasonable accommodation, there is a procedure in place to file an appeal or a grievance. Here are some examples of the forms and letters that we have. Some of them you may see. Let's just skip right to them. Oh, sorry. Okay. You would be seeing a letter of accommodations, a letter of accommodation and student acknowledgement form. You may see the student exam form, the faculty exam form. All of these forms can be viewed on our website. I thought we may have had them here, but we don't. So if you want to see an example of these forms before you may receive them, please visit our website. This information is in the catalog. Our website has been updated. It's also on the CASE website. If you want to read up a little bit more about disabilities and procedures, you can view the OCR transition guide. You can just type in OCR transition guide and there you go. Once again, here is my contact information, Dr. Nicole DiCaprio-Rink, our number, and the email. If you have any questions after viewing this, please feel free to reach out to me and I would be happy to discuss it with you. Thank you very much.